Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Fanatic Rundown. It was a valiant effort by the Edmonton Oilers in the third period. They tried. They were down 4-0. They come back and make it 4-3, but they just can't get that tying goal they needed. And looking back on that first period where the Oilers outshot Dallas 14-5, had the better opportunities. They outshoot Dallas 17-5 in the third, but Jake Ottinger just stood on his head until the Oilers finally were able to break through him in the third period. Stuart Skinner, a rough night in every sense of the word, struggled in between the pipes, had to leave the game in the third period after it looked like it was a knee from Mikko Rantanen that hit him in the head as Rantanen was going by the crease. Not intentional or anything like that, but nevertheless, Stuart Skinner has to leave the hockey game, and we just got an update as I was recording this from head coach Chris Knobloch that Stuart Skinner is not expected to join the team as they travel to Seattle tomorrow to take on the Kraken. So Calvin Pickard was already the expected starter for tomorrow night's game, but now we can probably expect a recall of either Olivier Rodrigue or Colin Delia from Bakersfield to back up Calvin Pickard. It's not a huge change there for the Edmonton Oilers. Skinner was expected to be on the bench anyway, so he's just being replaced as the backup to Calvin Pickard tomorrow, but you hope Stuart Skinner is obviously okay. Looks like some kind of neck injury, so we don't know how long Stuart Skinner will be out. I imagine if it's going to be anything longer than a day, we'll get some kind of update tomorrow, but Stuart Skinner expected to miss at this point tomorrow night's game against Seattle, but as I mentioned, he was expected to be the backup anyway, so he was going to be sitting out the game one way or the other, and it was a struggle of a start for him tonight once again. Matthias Ekholm having a rough night as well for the Edmonton Oilers. I believe he was a -4 overall or involved in all four of Dallas's goals in some way, shape, or form anyway, so a rough night for Matthias Ekholm, but I'm certainly not going to pile on him. He's the Edmonton Oilers' best defenseman on most nights, but tonight, not a great night for Matthias Ekholm, not a great night for Stuart Skinner, and not a great night for the Edmonton Oilers overall, but a lot of guys stepping up here. I've been so proud of this team in the absence of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Guys like Jeff Skinner and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins have been key contributors that have kept this team going. Corey Perry with his 16th goal of the year. Adam Henrique, he stepped up as of late, getting his 10th. And then, of course, Zach Hyman, another one of those guys that have stepped up in the absence of the Oilers' two superstars. He scores at 18:35 to make it 4-3 to give us that exciting finish, but it just wasn't enough tonight. As I mentioned, the Oilers out shooting Dallas 14-5 in the first, 17-5 in the third. Those were the periods where the Edmonton Oilers really needed to produce. They do get 3 goals in the third period, but if they had just managed to get something in the first, that would have been the difference. But overall, the Edmonton Oilers just not cashing in on enough of their chances tonight. 44 shots overall, but Jake Ottinger definitely the better goaltender tonight, and he was looking unbeatable for the most part up until 9:30 of the third period when Corey Perry found a way on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers end up going 2 for 6, so getting a couple power play goals in the third period to give them a chance in this hockey game, but definitely if they could have cashed in on either the first or the second period chances, we're definitely looking at a different hockey game tonight. If Stuart Skinner had been able to stop a couple more, we're definitely looking at a better hockey game tonight. But with the situation right now, just hoping that Stuart Skinner is going to be okay and we're not going to be without him for a while. I know a lot of people are mad at Stuart Skinner, but he is the Edmonton Oilers' #1 goaltender, and we definitely need him back here for the stretch run and the playoffs. I'm not anticipating that Stuart Skinner is going to be out for a long time. I imagine tomorrow night's game is probably going to be the only one he misses. I guess it's all going to depend on the severity of his apparent neck injury. We don't know much about the injury as of yet, other than, as I mentioned, head coach Chris Knobloch mentioning that he's unlikely to play tomorrow night against Seattle. So This Oilers team, like I've said, so proud of them. In the absence of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, have stepped up. They were down 4-0 going into this hockey game into the third period, and they came back and made a hell of a game of it. I think we're going to see a much better result tomorrow night. I think we're going to see a big win over Seattle for this team. I think this little third period comeback can be a bit of a rallying cry for this team as well. And the veterans, Corey Perry, Adam Henrique stepping up, Zach Hyman, Mr. Reliable with his 26th goal of the year. And there's not much more you can ask of this team without two of their best superstars, but they're finding a way every night. I mean, Adam Henrique also assisting on Corey Perry's goal tonight. Corey Perry assisting on Adam Henrique's goal. Matthias Ekholm, who I mentioned had been struggling, comes back, gets an assist on the Zach Hyman goal. So they're getting contributions from lots of different areas, but unfortunately, an off night for Stuart Skinner in every way, shape, and form, and the Oilers, unfortunately, fall behind 4-0 and can't find a way to fight all the way back tonight. So Dallas takes this one 4-3. It's 11:30. Going to wrap this one up for tonight. So if we get an update on Stuart Skinner tomorrow, I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, he is not expected to travel with the team to Seattle. So we should see a recall of Olivier Rodrigue or Colin Delia to back up Calvin Pickard tomorrow against the Kraken. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.